once a firm is actually handling the outsourcing businesses, all you need to do is just set KPIs for them. Whatever they need in order to drive or perform, be it the human resource, be it performance management, it's no longer your concern.
The first ingredients that an international business will be looking for when they want to expand into different companies would be talent.
What makes Africa attractive to the international market?
Companies save about 30 to 40% when they outsource to Africa. The reason people are outsourcing goes beyond cost savings.
Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Headset. My name is Augustine Holm, and today we're having a conversation about Africa in the BPO space. Usually when you mention the BPO space, countries like the Philippines, Pakistan, India come to mind. But in the last few years, we see Africa as a rising star in the BPO industry. Does Africa have what it takes to meet the global standards? That's the conversation we're having today. And to join me have this conversation, we have Frederick Sedo, who is the Quality Assurance Manager at eServices Africa, and Valerie Mary Sailaye, who is a Client Accounts Manager at eSAL. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so we hear outsourcing a lot in business circles. What does outsourcing actually mean in today's global economy?
So outsourcing, in its simplified, in a very simple explanation, would be when a business allows another company or institution handle their core functions. So with this, they leverage on specialized external providers like what we do here at eSAL. In the globalized economy, outsourcing is not just cost savings. It allows access to specialized talent, 24/7 operation, and scalability. In a Gartner's report 2024, it shows that companies have increasingly outsourced some part of their business, not just for cost efficiency, but also for innovation and enhanced customer experience.
For example, a bank that is giving out its customer service to another business to handle, because something like customer service is not exactly core to the banking function. So that's what you're saying outsourcing is?
Exactly. So you allow the firm, focus on what they are specialized in. So for the banking sector, they do finances or financials, but they do not have, or they might not have the expertise for everything that goes into customer service. Mm-hmm. Hence, they outsource that part of their business to a different company like eSAL. Now, I think this is just globally. If you bring it down to like layman, I think we do that in our domestic houses where we have somebody taking out the laundry. We have someone who we outsource, washing, cleaning the house, doing some minor tasks for us. Mm-hmm. So they're just replicating the same thing when it comes to big businesses.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And why, in your estimation, do you think that outsourcing would be a critical business strategy? And this, I'll ask this to Fred. Why do you think outsourcing would be a critical business strategy?
Okay, so just as Valerie said, it allows companies to focus on their core. And it's critical because it gives you the chance to actually ramp up and down easily without it affecting your net value or your net profit. Because once a firm is actually handling the outsourcing businesses, all you need to do is just set KPIs for them, and then they focus on it. Whatever they need in order to drive or perform, be it the human resource, be it performance management, it's no longer your concern. It's up to you to set the KPIs, and then this providers does it for you. So with the advent of AI and collaboration tools like Teams, Zoom, or Slack, it's making outsourcing seamless, and then it has no borders, in such a way that even customers who are being assisted might not even know who exactly they are being helped from. So it's possible for a customer in US being assisted from Ghana, and they might not even know because of the means of outsourcing. So from a career perspective, what it means is that you actually have to be ready as a service provider to meet the global standards.
Okay. Is there the possibility that if a business takes on a non-core aspect, they could actually be spending more like giving it more attention than they would the core business?
All right, so based on your question, let's take a bank that's outsourced its customer service to another firm to handle for them. All right, so let's look at what they're actually doing savings on. Now, they are no longer responsible for the HR aspect of these people who would have been performing this customer service for them. That's gone. You don't have to be negotiating salaries with them. This is going to save time on your admin, and this is now the responsibility of the business outsourcing firm to be handling. Also, you don't have to be doing their wages and salaries. All you need to do is to pay for the service, and that's it. And you have your KPIs in order to measure their performance, and there's a lot of savings that come in there.
Yeah.
And people actually don't get that part of it. You do a lot of cost savings by focusing on your core, and you leave them on call for professionals to handle for you.
And it sounds like it's very effective as well.
So to add to what Fred said, when we look at the globalized economy, now the reason people are outsourcing goes beyond cost savings. We would agree that Africa and Ghana as a whole has like the best price point. However, access to specialized skill sets, 247 operations, scalability, and agility are one of those reasons why we have international markets coming into Ghana.
And what you just said sort of feeds into my next question, which is what makes Africa attractive to the international market? You've already mentioned scalability, you've already mentioned the price point. So what other things make Africa, and Ghana in particular, a very attractive destination to outsource to?
So first, I think the first ingredient that an international business will be looking for when they want to expand into different companies would be talent. It's undisputed that Ghana, we have a large pool of young and educated individuals. I think I was listening to a podcast where it says that in Ghana, in terms of languages, especially English, we provide B2 proficiency in English. So our workforce size for young individuals in Ghana, if you want to ramp up, you can get about 20,000 for businesses looking to ramp up. You can get up to 20,000 individuals like every month. We're looking at the pool as a whole. We are talking about 400 to 600,000 people available to move straight into workforce. So one very big thing is the talent pool, the human capital. Secondly, it's our time zone. So longitude, latitude, we are almost in the center of the world. So it's very easy for us to do business for US, Europe, and Asia. So we have like the perfect time zone. So we can provide 247 support to any country all over the world. Thirdly, I think I would add that, so as compared to India and Philippines, we offer like very competitive price points. It goes back to the points we made earlier, cost savings. So it's easier for, I think, companies, according to a study, companies save about 30 to 40% when they outsource to Africa, because I know the average salary you have for contact center agents is about, say, 1,500 to 2,500. It depends on where you're going to.
And that's Ghana cities.
Yes, Ghana cities. So that's basically it.
So to add to it, we asked about Ghana in specifically. So when you look at it, it looks like the government is actually putting in policies in place to help the BPO space.
Yeah, especially with the 24-hour economy
Exactly.
thing.
So when you look at it, actually, government is actually putting a lot of business, and it's spearheaded by the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. What they are doing is there's actually the 1 million coders program. This is actually going to equip 1 million of our population with digital skills, and this geared towards the BPO space. When you look at it, we have the infrastructure. So we have the Tema ICT Park, we have the Accra Digital Center, and we have the Tier 3 600 rack space. I think this is the biggest in West Africa. And so all these are geared towards providing the BPO space with it. We also have an intentional policy in actually driving digitalization in the country. And all this is making us BPO ready. When you check the UN 2024 population census, just as Valerie said, it says that Africa has the youngest age range. So there's like 60% of the age range is below 25. And there's an untapped talent pool, which you can't find anywhere in the world. So that's, I think it's attractive, making Africa an attractive destination for BPO businesses.
And I mean, what you've said so far also feeds into my next question. And it's interesting you mentioned talent because Ghana as a country has become an education hub where you find people from different localities, different locations. We have people from Portuguese-speaking African countries, Spanish-speaking African countries, all coming to be educated in Ghana. And not to forget that Ghana is also surrounded on all three sides by French-speaking countries. So Ghana is a place where talent, multilingual talent, converges. And the question I want to ask basically is how does the talent pool in Ghana compare to that in other countries, especially considering, first of all, location, like you mentioned, and then the youth, like you've mentioned?
Okay, so I think it's not for no mean reason why Ghana is regarded as the gateway to Africa. I think there's a reason why the AFTA headquarters is in Accra. And we know Ghanaians are actually customer friendly. We show empathy towards people. And this fits into the space we find ourselves because doing customer service, you actually have to show empathy.
Yeah.
And we are always helpful or we are ready to help
Yeah,
people.
Ghana has that legendary
Yes.
friendliness.
So
Yeah.
that all feed into why Ghana is actually a destination for you to bring your business.
Okay. As a follow-up question to this, how can BPO companies in Ghana and BPO companies like eSAL maintain service standards that meet and exceed global standards?
Okay, so what I can say is that from a quality standpoint, we're actually doing that. We have people we work with where we are measured against with the same scorecard. What BPO companies actually do is we did certifications, for example, PCI DSS for card transactions, which we already have. We have ISO 27001 certification, we have SOC 2 certifications, and a host of other certifications we're actually doing. This will make us enable us to compete globally. What we also do is we have a 360 training model that we do. For countries or for companies which we serve outside the country, we first have these training sessions where we try to imbibe traditions or culture of these countries we work in so that agents get used to the nuances of the people they are going to interact with. Because if you're able to relate well with them, then you know how to answer or provide solutions to them.
Yes.
So these are stuff we do. Also, in the course of our work, we provide targeted coaching to agents in order to help them perform to the standard that we look out for.
So in our conversation so far, we've sort of dwelt on just the customer experience side of engaging with a BPO. But there's more to it, isn't there, Valerie?
Yeah, so in terms of outsourcing, we have outsourcing for IT services. We do recruitment, we do facility management, we do payments. So payroll
Yes.
processing for other international companies.
Accounts
But
receivables and all that.
yes,
Yeah,
and all
those
that.
are.
So, but in ranking them, obviously, BPO comes first, as in the contact center
Yes.
or outsourcing operations come first. Then we have the IT services. Then the rest, follows through.
Okay.
But in terms of competitiveness with the global market, majorly contact center operations and the IT.
Because even a lot of the time when you're talking about BPO companies, even in the Philippines, India, a lot of the cultural alignment has to do with making sure that people speak the way the way their clients want to be heard.
Yeah.
And it goes a very long way to having businesses decide on which BPO to use. Okay.
Exactly.
How does eSAL ensure quality control, cultural alignment, and effective communication with international clients?
All right, so what we do at eSAL is we try to have a multi-tiered approach. So what we do is per the transactions, we have agents actually do self-assessment on their transactions, whereby they listen to the calls. If it's email, they read it back and then try to evaluate it with the scorecards that they've been provided with. From there, we have peer review. So that's where agents do their review, the team leaders do their review, supervisors do review, and then we try to compare how far the agent score is from their team leader score. From there, we have the quality evaluations where quality assurance executives do evaluations with the same scorecard. From there, the last point is actually client calibration, where we sit down with the clients and then we evaluate the transaction just to ensure that we are on the same page And if there are any variances, we try to correct it through coaching. So for the cultural approach, just as I mentioned first, we have this targeted training where we even have a language expert come in to teach us and then help us with asset neutralization in order to make us appeal to our clients.
Yes.
They also get trainings on the cultural nuances of the prospective companies we're going to work with. So for effective communication, what we do with our clients is we set up transparent dashboard and reporting systems where we don't hide anything from them. I think normally we do this through the weekly business reviews and the monthly business reviews. We sit together with them, we watch the KPIs, we watch the figures, and then if there's anything we need to correct, we correct with them. And then once you build this trust with your customers, it helps them in order to move you from strictly a vendor provider point and you become a strategic partner to them.
Yeah.
So these are the approach that we're currently using.
And it's very important that the business that we partner with, we become more of partners rather than just a business acquaintance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's easy for you to then make suggestions once you become a partner, other than them
Yeah.
viewing you as a vendor provider situation. Yeah.
From a client manager, a client accounts manager point of view, what is the thing that you would say or do to keep your clients on board, basically? Because I believe that's part of what you do to make sure that your clients are happy.
I mean, for every client, they're very big on you meeting and exceeding the targets. Okay, so as a client account manager, you're in the middle of the operations, sort of, almost like a mini COO, because you're liaising with, quality team, you're liaising with workforce, you're liaising with the ops team. Your eyes has to be on every single thing, including training and recruitment. So you have to ensure that quality of the candidates coming in, it's like top tier. You have to ensure that agents who are being trained are trained to the best SaaS standards. You ensure that, agents are scheduled well, quality is doing what they expected to do, and everything fits into the grand, service level agreement that we have with the client. So it's not just easy for them. So they do give us our KPIs for us to meet, but in the shoes of an account manager, you have to ensure that every operations, regardless what you're doing, you're ensuring that it's running seamlessly to ensure that the client is happy.
To ensure that the client is happy, and that is what we live for. And that's what brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.